Hello and welcome to your messages for the full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. This is happening around 4 degrees, close to 5 degrees, let's call it 5 degrees of the sign of Pisces. The moon is sitting snuggled right up to the north node, which is just over the Pisces line into the sign of Aquarius. We have Mercury, the south node, which are sitting snuggled up on both sides of the sun. So this full moon, my expectations for this full moon solar eclipse, well, first and foremost, I do expect the unexpected, because that's just the way it is when it comes to eclipse energy. Eclipse energy is a wild card, so it's kind of like expect the unexpected. There are a lot of things happening leading up to this full moon. I do believe this is the breaking free of that intense energy that's building up on the way to this full moon. I'm also feeling that this full moon, part of the shifts and changes and the out of nowhere, expect the unexpected energy that is coming through. I feel like there will be groundbreaking news, information, some sort of conversation. Mercury's in the mix here, so it is like bringing facts, bringing clarity, bringing truth uh, to situations that typically have been done in the dark or have been hidden, that sort of energy. We are talking about the moon, and I'm feeling this is all very powerful because of how close it is sitting to that south node and the north node, right? The moon is illuminating the north node, like the way forward, that sort of energy. And the sun is sitting right there with the south node saying, I'm going to illuminate things that need to be released, that need to be surrendered, that need to be let go because they're not for your greater good. So this is the energy we are going to be feeling. I do expect that it's going to be quite intense, but it feels like a powerful liberation, right? The truth shall set you free, and from that space of truth, transparency, and clarity, you can make informed choices and decisions, and to use your free will to direct your life, your future, um, into a more positive direction, releasing any of the things that need to be let go. There's no doubt that I am feeling this full moon is really going to force truth and clarity upon all of us, right? Whether we like it or not, whatever has been, false pretense or illusions we have been living under. This is that period where you can really see these things brought to the light, exposed, and able to transform that energy in order to move forward. I hope these messages serve you well. Let's get into your reading. Hello, Leo, and welcome to your messages for the full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. So I was looking at the energy, and I know there's a lot of intense energy happening during this eclipse full moon in the sign of Pisces. At the same time, where there is all this really intense energy, there is also a beautiful trine that is happening, and that is between the planet of Saturn, which is in the sign of Aries, and it is in trine with Jupiter in the sign of Leo. So that's a beautiful energy showing up. Oh, I don't even know. I guess I didn't bring my thing in here with me. You and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer is the first energy that shows up, and your hard work is paying off. And I do want to talk about that because I was just mentioning that the planet of Saturn trining with Jupiter, right? And Saturn is that planet of staying focused. It is that energy. Saturn is like learning. It's about uh, having structure and discipline. It is about staying the course. It is about persevering, that sort of energy. So I really feel whatever you have been staying focused on, consistently investing your time, energy, and effort into. I feel like that's about all to pay off for you. It's very interesting to see the two new moons showing up here because I did see that beautiful trine. And so I'm feeling, although there is a lot of intense energy surrounding you, I do feel this beautiful new beginning. Wow. This card flew out. Every reading I have done for the signs for this eclipse energy has had me chasing cards all over the place. So I definitely know the energy is very uh, scattered. It's all over the place. But we see the Nine of Wands, and you can see in this specific picture where the wands are behind somebody. They're able to put the weight, the burdens down. This person is like resting, rejuvenating, recharging their batteries, they've taken their power back, and this person is just, it's like catching that second wind, right? And when this person stands up, they're standing on top of an Ace of Pentacles, which is something we don't typically see in the wand suit. And like when we see the tarot cards come out, we don't typically see the pentacles associated with the wands, but I do feel that perseverance has paid off, and there is that new beginning. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups. So this does look like it's going somewhere very favorable. I'm feeling the energy of not all, but some Leos who have been resisting, or yeah, like almost like coming up against, resisting the change, that sort of energy. But for the most part, I am feeling the energy of the Leos that I'm picking up on, who have really rode the wave, or are riding the wave of the transformation, the changes that are happening, the things that are falling away in order to move forward. I feel like this is a time, maybe I don't feel like it's when this full moon comes. I kind of feel like it's leading up to this full moon, where somebody is really taking some downtime, resting, recharging, rejuvenating, gathering themselves, that sort of energy, claiming back their power, and putting stuff behind them, right? And being able to move forward. We do see the beautiful energy of this moving forward with these two new moon energies showing up. So let's keep moving forward and see what else is out here. So for those of you who have been out there and really feel like you're worn down from the challenges you've been having to deal with and overcome, I feel like this is the break in that energy. I feel like this eclipse energy is going to remove that so that it's no longer part of your path or standing in your way. Wow. Empress energy. This is where you can see a new life has been formed as a result of what you have gone through. Absolutely, with the Ace of Fire right there, right? This is another new beginning, new beginning, new beginning, new beginning. An abundant, a prosperous, a peaceful, a loving, something that has potential to grow, evolve. I feel like this, especially because with this Empress energy right here, you see this person holding, the a child, right? And typically when we talk about the Empress, whether you're giving birth to a physical child or you're giving birth to a new phase of life or whatever this is, typically we see the Empress being pregnant, right? In this one, you can see she's already holding that dream, that desire, that wish, that whatever it is she was manifesting. So you can see that this new life has already begun, although it may not have felt like that, right? I feel whenever I'm talking about this as well with this Nine of Wands right there, like I said, when someone steps up and stands up, they're moving forward in a power. Like this is where it almost feels like, they come out of a situation more powerful than ever as a result of whatever this cycle in their life was, these challenges they've had to endure, the being beat down by challenges, obstacles, things like that. And now that new life is here, right? That fresh start, that new beginning. And I feel, because I'm seeing her hug and nurture and love, like somebody's holding on to this. Somebody is going to invest their unconditional time, energy, effort, love into a situation. We got the Ten of Pentacles here. I've seen this card show up a couple times. We do see at the bottom of the deck the Six of Cups. I'm feeling these are strongly associated, talking about something in the past. You're also seeing a child right there. This could have been something involving a child, or involving somebody that you really love, but I feel like somebody had their hands in something that their hands should not have been in, and that could have been part of why there was such a challenging uh, cycle, time frame, whatever this was. This full moon could be releasing and bringing to light the deception that had taken past with the Six of Cups in the past, where something has happened that in the past that is now being exposed, and it does feel like something that was taken that wasn't. I just feel like somebody's hands were into something they didn't belong into, and I feel like they're being caught out and exposed, and that's exactly what lunar, any eclipse energy is going to do. It's going to take things out of the equation that are not meant to be there. It's going to really be changing when it comes to clarity, truth, seeing things for what they really are versus the illusion that may have been forced upon somebody. We had two cards come up next, and look, this is seeing through the veil. This is seeing clearly, seeing the truth. And you got two twos. So I don't have my book here. You know I love that book. I just have two different areas where I do readings. So, well, I got more than two, but typically I use one of the two places in the book is not in this area. So I feel like once this is seen and evaluated for what it truly is, this it opens the door. You see the gates are opened on this card right here, where seeing through the veil, seeing through the confusion, seeing through the lies, or just being informed about these lies and deceptive energy really opens a portal for someone to move into an entirely new direction. I see this Knight of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and right away when I'm seeing this, it feels the vibe that's coming through is that energy of someone who acted quite quickly. Like this is somebody who didn't miss a beat when it came to jumping on an opportunity. Let's see what's underneath it. Yes. Look at this. All right, let me do this. Yeah, I feel like somebody acted really quickly, spontaneously. I feel the devil energy right here, right? So I feel like in a toxic way, it feels like somebody jumped at an opportunity to snatch something, to put their hands in something, to get involved in something, whatever it was, however they did it, right? In order to gain something, obviously. And now that this truth is coming out, I do feel like it. And look, you see the two swords, and we've seen them and over here as well, where these two swords were the swords of truth coming through. And you can see somebody taking that third sword and like cutting out that energy, right? And she doesn't look like this is a happy experience for her. I'm saying her, but there is no gender in tarot. But it is that energy of having to make a head over heart decision of seeing the truth for what it truly is and making some cuts. And underneath that, because it's been blocking somebody's Ace of Pentacles, their new beginning. There does look like there was an injustice done, that now there is like the hand of God coming through and balancing the scales, returning that Ace of Pentacles. Could be through a professional person. This can be a lawyer, a judge, an investigator, but it is a professional energy that shows up speaking with facts, speaking with truth, speaking with clarity. And that's what I'm feeling is coming through for this lunar eclipse full moon in the sign of Pisces. And let's talk about just that energy for a second. When we're dealing with Pisces energy, that can represent a lot of different things. It can represent hidden enemies. It definitely speaks on closing out cycles. It talks about intuition. Look, I'm shuffling from the next deck to clarify. There's the Wheel of Fortune. This is Jupiter energy. Jupiter is in your sun sign, right? It is in the house. It is in the sign of Leo right now. That is a sister sign to Sagittarius as well. There's some expanded knowledge, wisdom, information that is coming through. It is fated. It is destined. It is time for this to happen. It's time for this cycle to, and I feel this cycle you're moving out of, that you're moving away from, that this wheel is turning away out of, was a very challenging energy. And now it's like it's opening up a whole new world for you. We got the Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So this is telling me that something is really coming together for you. And I do feel like it does feel like you're leaving this old challenging experience and cycle behind and entering into a whole new world. Next card that wants to pop up is the Five of Wands. Very interesting to see it so close to that Ten of Pentacles up there, because it does give me the vibes of somebody being pretty heated about this experience or this situation, more than likely because they got caught bottom of the deck and now they're being rejected, left out in the cold. They're no longer going to be part of your path moving forward. This could have been an energy that, like I said, got their hands into something and took something that could have been very life changing for you. Like, I get the vibe of somebody who was tapping in or taking something, like I said, and it does show the Ten of Pentacles, right? Somebody's abundance. Like, they somehow were an opportunist in order to snatch something up, and maybe for quite some time or for some time they felt like they got away with this, that there would never be a discovery of this. And I kind of feel like, during that time when this was happening, you could have been at a really low point in your life, really struggling and challenged, feeling in a lack, like, that sort of energy. Seven of Swords. Somebody is pissed. I mean, just seriously mad. I'm feeling because they get caught for this Seven of Swords for what and there's the five. So, the Five of Cups. I feel, like I said, I feel at one point you were at a point in your life where this could have changed the entire trajectory of your life for you. But somebody acted quite quickly and, like, as an opportunist, snatching something. And I feel it gets discovered, because that's the thing about life in the human experience. The truth will always stand the test of time. And the truth will always come to light, no matter how hard or how long it's been manipulated or hidden. It's just the law of attraction. It's just the way it goes. And I kind of feel that there is an energy that is red hot mad because of a deceptive tactic or a deceptive action that they took. And I feel like they're going to not only experiencing the loss, right, moving forward, but I'm also feeling like there's karma sitting here. And I say that because I was talking about that gorgeous trine with Saturn and Jupiter, right? And Saturn is about timing. Saturn is about learning lessons. Saturn is about karma. And so there is somebody definitely going to be reaping what they've sown, and I feel like they're going to reap the consequences of acting quickly, doing something, like, I just feel being an opportunist to snatch an opportunity that didn't rightfully belong to them. Next card out is the Three of Cups. I feel this is a wishy-washy look. I was going to say, I feel this has a wishy-washy energy. And you may have or figured this out or seen this or intuitively knew this, that something wasn't right, something just feels wishy-washy. It's kind of like things didn't add up, or your intuition was saying one thing, your gut wasn't vibing the information that you were being given. And there is that energy again, that Knight of Wands, same Knight that's right there. Somebody acted impulsively, recklessly, and took action. And I feel like this is an energy that makes me feel like they snatched something and ran. Maybe gave you space. So this could have been somebody who did this and then backed away from you for a while, and let things calm down, cool down, where you kind of figured there was this wishy-washy energy. But I don't feel that energy anymore. I feel like this, to me, feels like an energy, and I haven't seen it, but I feel this energy of something that wants to come in because they see the direction you're going when this truth, when this is exposed, when this new beginning happens for you, when this is rightfully, the scales of justice are balanced. Like, they want to be on that train with you. I'm just not seeing that happening. Let's look, though, together what's underneath this. We got the Knight of Wands to the Queen of Wands and to the Ten of Cups. So, yeah, I mean, even when we looked underneath this one, we could see someone making a head over heart choice and decision to cut something off to block, so it wasn't associated with that new beginning that's coming through. And it does look like this Queen of Wands, who definitely outranks this Knight of Wands, is a person standing in their power, and they're manifesting through this Ten of Cups. They are bringing in the love, the light, the peace, the harmony, the abundance through their generosity, through their loyalty, through them high vibing energies that clearly somebody wasn't connected with, or they wouldn't be out here doing the most to snatch something that didn't belong. So let's keep moving forward. Let's grab a couple more cards, and two came up. And here's the Knight of Cups, and here is the Two of Wands. And how interesting is this to see the Two of Wands sitting right with the Two of Wands? So this talks about making that life-changing choice, decision. There is an offer or an opportunity coming in. I'm seeing with this Knight. It gives me the vibe with this Knight of Cups, though, that somebody wants to come in and offer some sort of heartfelt gesture, some sort of kindness, love, and it's the energy that was taken from you. It was the energy that was breadcrumbing you. You see this person looking like they're holding out an Ace of Pentacles, right? But their other hand is sitting there trying to snatch three. And so I do feel that energy that was, that sabotaging energy, that betraying energy, that energy that obviously felt too much about themselves to think they could just pop in and snatch away and something that didn't belong to them. Like, I feel, stake a claim to something that did not belong to them. They had their hands in an energy that was not, and they can justify it in their own mind why they did it or any of that, but just not freeing you from karma, right? Truth, clarity, transparency, doing the right things will happen. So for you, Leo, the messages that Spirit wants you to know in regards to how Spirit has your back is, my outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. And absolutely, I can pick that up with that Queen of Fire that I've seen, because Leo energy is generous. They have very big hearts. Loyalty is a priority 101 for them. If you are not loyal to that energy, you can expect at some point that they are going to use that sword energy, and they're going to cut that away. They're going to release themselves from any connections, situations that are not loyal. When I lean towards love, I am led. And I feel like somebody didn't, even with all the challenges, even with feeling left out or really going through a dark space or a dark chapter and cycle in their life, they didn't lose that beautiful Leo energy. Leo is ruled by the sun, right? That's the energy that's going to bring through the truth. I had talked about this a long time ago. It's been a while probably since I've mentioned it. There is something very special and significant about Leo energy. A high vibing Leo energy will be protected from all kinds of evil and hostility and all of these things. If you were a Leo, you, I'm sure, are recognizing, as I am saying this, where you have been through some things that were just an injustice in your life, and then, it was made right. The scales were balanced because the sun, which is your ruling planet, illuminates truth, clarity, even deception, right? In order to allow you to move forward. There is also this divine protection that surrounds this energy. And so I'm feeling somebody didn't lose sight of, sometimes people do fall, right? They will, surrender or feed the lower vibing energies. I'm not talking to that person. I'm talking to somebody who persevered, overcame the obstacles, the challenges, the BS that was thrown in their path, and never lost that beautiful heart space, that loving energy, that generosity of spirit, that fun, loving spirit within themselves. Next card that comes up, in any moment I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. And we've seen that up there with the Nine of Wands, right? We've seen somebody like collecting themselves, rejuvenating themselves, restoring their vitality, that sort of energy. When I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. And that's what I'm saying. Somebody didn't lose sight of their true power. They didn't surrender that power to these demons, to this deceptive energy, to this toxicity. They didn't bite into that apple. They chose to rise above it. They chose to persevere and move forward. And at some point, this is when things came back, where we can see with the Wheel of Fortune, it's time. It's time for the wheel to turn. It's time for something to be exposed. It's time, and I'm feeling Saturn very strongly. Saturn to come through and render those consequences, good or bad. And I feel for who I'm reading for, this is time for things to be made right for you, and for that energy who thought, and justified it somehow in their twisted head that this was going to be okay, that they were going to get away with this. Well, there's another thing coming there. My capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. This is somebody who has truly taken their power back. They have taken their power back. They're ready to communicate how they feel. They're, and I love to see that compassion, because it's not that I feel like this person is sitting there like, oh, enough bad things can't happen to this person. I don't feel like that. I feel like this energy that I'm talking to, this Leo I'm talking to, they feel compassion, and, I do feel it affects their heart, where, no, like a true, authentic Leo doesn't want to see pain and suffering. But at the same time, they're knowledgeable enough and recognize that this is part of the learning process. When you learn through the karma that comes back, through the consequences of someone's actions, and definitely someone acted extremely reckless. Bottom of the deck says, I find a deeper meaning amid personal growth and the discomfort. And I do feel like everybody learns in this situation and this experience. Um, so it is ultimately a win-win in this situation. Let me grab a couple more cards for you, Leo. I hope this message is resonating with you. If it does, please leave me a comment and let me know. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I do have a link below if you'd like to buy me a coffee. That link is there. Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perceptions so that I can see what is of the highest good. And I talked about that up there. I said there's something like you are going to be seeing something a lot differently, like there's this higher learning, highest good. Bottom of the deck, my fearless freedom lights up the world. And there's the sun, your ruling planet. So yes, this is changing something very big for you in a powerful way. It is going to be quite the intense energy with this lunar eclipse. However, it is happening for a greater good. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. And I feel that. I feel like somebody never lost sight of, moving forward, persevering, overcoming, that sort of thing, recognizing that the universe had their back. The bottom of the deck says, my faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and very, very powerful reading for you, Leo. I am sending you an abundance of peace, love, and light, and I hope this really resonates with you, because this is a beautiful reading, talking, really about closing out and ending out and eclipsing out all of that other energy that was very toxic and challenging and that sort of thing. So very beautiful energy showing up for you, Leo. I hope this serves you well. I send you an abundance of peace, love, and light. Have a great day.